If there was one thing that I could do to completely transform your dating life, it would be to reach into your brain and remove your ego. Why? Because the ego is the thing that is completely holding you back. It is keeping you in fear mode, and it's preventing you from really taking chances that are the things that actually make women attracted to you. You being more bold, you expressing your opinion, you even just going over and approaching a woman, you just being comfortable to be yourself. Because when you can do that, that's when attraction has the highest chance of occurring. So what is your ego? Well, there have been numerous books on this. There's YouTube videos out there where you can watch for hours. There's so much information on this. So I'm just gonna make it really simple just so you can understand what it is and we can use it for this video in terms of your dating and attraction. So the ego is your self-identity. It's the way that you identify with yourself. To make it even more simple, it's the thoughts in your head that are talking to yourself, that are saying that you're not good enough, that you suck, that you're a loser, that you have no confidence. But even on the other end, it's saying, I'm the best, I'm better than other people, no one's better than me, which is funny because both of those thoughts come from the same place, which is just you being in fear, you having a lack of self-worth or self-esteem. So hopefully you get an idea of what this is all about, what the ego is. Again, it's you identifying with yourself. It's you listening to the thoughts inside of your head that are saying things about you. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's imagine that you're listening to your thoughts, you're hearing all the things in your head that are saying all the negative things, that are identifying with yourself in a very negative way. Okay, so of course, what this is gonna do is this gonna completely prevent you from being able to either A, go up to a girl and start a conversation, or B, like I said earlier, being yourself, right? Being able to just say the things you want to say, because what ends up happening is if you're talking to a girl and you're kind of scared to express your opinion, or you're afraid to disagree with what she's saying, you're just afraid to kind of be relaxed. When this happens, it's your ego saying that you're not good enough, to not be your true self, because your true self is not good enough. Again, that's you saying to yourself, I don't want to lose you here, you saying to yourself that you're not good enough, and the person who you are is not good enough for other people. Just because that's a thought in your head, it doesn't make it true. But we have these thoughts all the freaking time. And it prevents you from being able to loosen up, remain comfortable, and just be able to have a normal conversation with a woman. So this is what I say all the time to the guys that I'm coaching. I say, listen, we have to remove all the ego. We have to not listen to your thoughts. And I say to them, let's imagine for a second you were going out to talk to a woman and we removed these thoughts and we didn't pay attention to them, or at least we didn't give them much attention. What would you be able to accomplish? I bet a lot. So let's put you in this case right now. Let's imagine that you didn't have any fear or any thoughts in your head. Let's say you're a freaking robot and nothing was stopping you in your head from going and doing what you want to do. In some cases, it could be pretty dangerous, but in this example, I'm just showing you that you're not going to have anything holding you back. So sometimes you might see a guy who's really natural with women, really comfortable in front of women, is really confident with women. So what's happening here is he's not some arrogant douchebag prick kind of guy. Really, he just doesn't care what people think. And there's a lot of different reasons why, but probably the main reason is because he has self-worth and self-esteem. He knows that if he gets rejected from a girl, he knows that if it doesn't go right in an interaction, that it's not a big deal. He doesn't let anything external affect his self-worth or the way that he identifies with himself. You see how I'm coming full circle here? Now let's go to the other side of things. Let's imagine that you are a person who thinks you're better than other people, or you have arrogance and you just think that everyone else is completely beneath you. This is not true confidence, okay? This is you making up those things, trying to convince yourself of those things, thinking those things because deeper down, you still actually believe that you are not worthy, you have very low self-worth, very low self-esteem. So you try to do these things to make up for it. So if you ever come across a guy who is being really arrogant and just thinks he's the best, most likely it's because deep down inside, he thinks that he's a piece of crap. Braggers are people that don't feel good about themselves. So you might be asking, all right, Tripp, great. So we don't want to be bragging about ourselves. We don't want to be overconfident, to say the least. And we don't want to be listening to our thoughts that's saying that we're pieces of crap. So what are we supposed to do? What you're supposed to do is make no judgment whatsoever. This is the goal. By the way, it could take you years and years to get to this point. But if you start today, you can practice this and get to the point where you are no longer listening to those thoughts in such a way where you're believing them. Again, the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, this girl's better than me, I'm gonna get rejected, I suck, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm never gonna be able to accomplish anything, any of that stuff, right? All of that, we can hear them. Your brain might create those thoughts. Your ego might create those thoughts. But that doesn't mean that you have to identify with those thoughts. And again, what I'm saying here is really powerful stuff. I know we're going deep, and this is not just, little lines to say to women or how to be really good at talking to women and things like that. But I'm telling you, this is some of the deep stuff that if you start to actually work on this, the things you say, the things you wear, the way you carry yourself, all of that stuff won't matter. So again, what you're doing is you're listening to your thoughts, as you always do, because that's what we do, and you're listening, but you're not giving them any attention. You're not saying, you know what, my brain's right, that's true, I suck, I'm not good enough, or I'm gonna get rejected, or if I get rejected, it's gonna be bad, or if it doesn't work out, it's gonna be bad. We can hear them, but that doesn't mean we have to listen to them, okay? That means that you just let them go by. So a lot of people who are very good at this are people who meditate a lot. So meditation is the practice of this skill of hearing your thoughts, but not really listening to them, not believing them, not identifying with them. So this is something that you can do all the time. This is called consciousness or awareness, being aware of your thoughts. The problem is that we are not aware that we're listening to these thoughts and believing them. We're just so sucked in. So I'm asking you to kind of zoom out a little bit. So to take a bigger look at what's going on inside of your head when things are going on. And to say, okay, interesting, my thoughts are saying that kind of stuff, but I'm just gonna kind of let them go in one ear, out the other, not pay attention to them, and not give them the attention that you were once giving them to then believe them and then feel like crap all the time, which then doesn't allow you to be more comfortable in front of women and even take chances at being able to talk to women and again, be yourself. So that's kind of the chain reaction of events here. All starting with, boom, you being conscious of your thoughts and not identifying with them. Now, of course, there are some times when you're gonna have thoughts where they're very positive thoughts, right? Where you say, wow, I did a good job there. I'm very proud of myself. I did something awesome. Well, as long as it's something that's positive like that, and you know it's not coming from a deeper seated issue that's trying to cover up the way you feel about yourself, which is usually negative. If it's coming from a very positive place, that's different. To be proud of yourself, to be excited, to have self-esteem, to like yourself, to have a genuine interest in yourself. But even then, still it's good to make no judgment. You can even say, okay, wow, my thoughts are pretty positive right now. That's interesting. Everything should just be you, like a scientist, looking at things and just going, huh, very interesting. A lot of psychologists talk to their patients about this, about looking at your thoughts, analyzing them, and then being aware of them, but just kind of being curious about them. Like, wow, interesting, I've been proud of myself today. Interesting, I'm feeling kind of down about myself today. Interesting, I'm not really thinking much of anything today. So I would imagine that at the end of the day, what this is all coming down to, and this is getting deep, we're talking about kind of Buddhism meditation here, is this idea of being not just aware of your thoughts, but now being aware of what's happening in front of you. This is called presence, being present, right? So you've heard of this idea of just being in the moment. So that's kind of what we're talking about here, where now, even though you have all these thoughts, you having practiced so much of just being aware of those thoughts and not giving them any weight, that now you just become present in the moment. Literally, whatever's happening in front of you. Like right now, I have a camera that I'm looking at. I'm talking to you. This is all that's on my mind. This is all that's happening. There's no thoughts going on into my brain. I'm just in flow. So ideally, we get to this point a lot during the day of just being in flow. So imagine you being on a date with a girl. Imagine you going to a place to do some approaches and talk to women. All this, imagine in a flow state where you're no longer listening to your thoughts and you're just taking action. So now your ego is not holding you back any longer and you're in full awareness, full mindfulness, full presence. Again, for some people, this takes years and years and years to do. And it might not be something that you ever master. But I'm not asking you to master it. I'm asking you to kind of think about this stuff and see how it can apply to your life. Because even if you start to, let's say, meditate, even if you start to be more conscious of your thoughts and aware of what's going on, that's going to make you a little bit better than yesterday. So it's going to be kind of like this long journey and process of incremental positive steps forward to being more aware and more conscious. I'm going to link something below. I'm going to link a couple things below. One is going to be a video that I made a couple years ago from the creation of this state, which is a meditation video. It's about 5 minutes long and it allows you to start meditation. It is my voice. I'm reading something and there's some nice images and some nice music in the background. So I'll link that down below. Another thing that I'm going to link down below is my program called Hooked. Hooked is a course with multiple videos that give you the whole process from meeting women all the way to dating her, getting her in the bedroom, and even getting into a relationship. And the reason why I want you to check this out is because if you can combine this concept of removing your ego, being more present, being more of the experimenter, the observer, and just going through the motions, and those motions are the things I tell you in Hooked to do, which is going to be teaching you about going out, talking to women, building attraction, moving forward with dominance and making sure that the interaction is moving to the place where she's actually attracted to you. If you're combining all these ideas together, you will be a freaking rock star, okay? So it kind of is twofold with success with women. It's one, what we've been talking about on this video, completely being aware of your thoughts and not letting your ego hold you back. And then of course, there is some sort of skill set, right? There are things that you can say in conversation to get a woman more interested, be a more interesting person. What I'm saying though in this video, why this is so important is because if you can get to the point where your ego is not holding you back, you're about 80% of the way there. Because women are really attracted to guys who are confident. And guys who are confident are guys who are not paying attention to what their thoughts are saying, and they're more comfortable, more relaxed, and just being themselves and being able to talk to women no problem. When a woman sees that, that is a huge, huge turn on. I've said this in multiple videos, I'm gonna say it again. What women are attracted to is your inner strength. You being able to confidently talk to her, confidently handle your life, confidently handle life situations. She wants to know that you've got it all together. And she doesn't need to ask you, excuse me, Tripp, do you have your life together? She doesn't need to ask you anything like that. She just needs to see how you act when you're with her, when you're in front of her. She just needs to see you being completely present and in the moment with her. Because once you can do that, everything else starts to line up. So again, if you need some of those techniques, you need the system to be able to go up to women and kind of know what to say and get that stuff going, check out the Hooked program that's in the description below. It is completely immersed in everything you need to do. It's pretty much the last stop for you in terms of learning how to meet and attract women. And as long as you follow it, you'll see results. And then I want you to, like I said earlier, I'm repeating myself Combine what we talked about in this video. Combine the practice of meditation, presence, awareness, observing your thoughts. At that point, everything will fall into place. Good luck. I'll talk to you on the next video.